Hello, my beautiful friends. I have a book review because a book came today. I'm working through it, and I have magical mail from Misty. Thank you so much, Misty. It has the cutest seal on the back. I wanted to show you. I'm so jealous of these beautiful seals. It's my favorite color, and it has a little heart in it. I'm going to try to open this without breaking the seal, and I know that's not going to work. I'm going to pause while I do that so I can use both hands. I was able to get it off. So that'll go in my journal. So in this envelope is self-love bath salts. I love a good bath. Misty knows this. It says, "Hi Beth, I hope you like the bath salts and bookmark I made you. I was inspired by Isis and Willa. Love, Misty." That is so sweet. There's a bookmark in here. Oh, this is beautiful. And I love to read. Oh, look at its little hearts. Oh. There's X's on the back that I'm going to think are Gibo. That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Misty. That is so kind. And I will use it in the book that I just got today, which is Honoring the Ancestors. And I have read a little bit of it. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think I'm going to reserve judgment until I'm done. But so far, what I've read, I don't agree with some of the stuff. Because I think... our ancestors are always excited to hear from us. They are excited when we honor them, whatever your tradition, whatever your cultural background. I think our ancestors are happy when we connect. And I believe that we can connect to our ancestors through ritual, through spells, if that's what you do, through prayer, through meditation, through regressions, things like that. I think there are lots of ways to connect with ancestors, but one of the premises of this book so far is that different ancestors are expecting a different kind of veneration. I don't think our ancestors expect any kind of venerations. I think they're happy when we connect, but I don't think there's an expectation there. I appreciate that the author Mallory Vaudois, I appreciate that she sort of says, like, there's your blood relatives, and then there might be adopted relatives if you're adopted, or if you have a step person, or you may connect with your partner's ancestors more so than your own, or you could connect with your ancestors in a given craft, or in a given, like, if you're a witch and you want to consider all witches your ancestors, whatever, you're not bound to the people that you're blood related to. So I appreciate that sentiment. And I agree with that part, but I don't think there's an expectation on the other side. And I've kind of breezed, I flipped through the book. There's a lot of the, like, why you should venerate. I don't need to read all that stuff because I already know why. So I'm just sort of skimming that stuff, but it's talking about, like, mediumship and different herbal remedies, and that we'll get into later. Mediumship is for everyone, and I think, she does make a good point that, a lot of times people will talk about their mediumship, and then, you feel like, well, I don't have that experience. Maybe what I'm doing isn't mediumship. I think there are a lot, she equates it to, like, people when they tell, like, fishing stories. Like, the fish was this big, but by the end of the story, it's, 10 feet wide. So she has some exercises. I'll be interested in how this sort of shapes up. So far, I'm in the who are the ancestors part, and I just don't think that ancestors expect us to venerate them. The next thing is the healing ancestral trauma. I don't know if I agree with that principle, to be honest, because I think you can feel bad for what your ancestors done. A good example in the literary world is Nathaniel Hawthorne. If you read The Scarlet Letter in high school, his grandfather was one of the Salem witch trial judges, and he was so embarrassed and wanted to distance himself so much from that grandfather that he changed the spelling of his last name, Hawthorne, so that people wouldn't associate the two of them together. I think there are things in our family's past for which we might feel a certain way about, there's all kinds of examples, right? So I think that's true. Like, I feel like that's true, but I don't think it's necessary for you in your position to have to be the healer of that. I feel like your responsibility is for your existence and the trauma in your own life that you need to heal from. That's enough work to do in a lifetime. You don't need to heal trauma from the past. And I don't know that I agree that trauma is passed down generation to generation. And I'll give this example. Like, my family was part of the Scottish clearances, right? They kicked out all the people in Scotland so that they could raise more sheep, right? So I don't feel that like I'm responsible for that. I'm responsible to remember it. I think I'm responsible to remember, but I don't think that I can heal that trauma through the generations. So we'll see what she has to say when it gets to that chapter. I didn't get there yet. Right now we're just on like, who are your ancestors? So we'll see how I feel. It's called Honoring Your Ancestors, A Guide to Ancestral Veneration. I will give you a full review when I am done. We'll see. I'm open-minded, but I also find books like this to be like prescriptive, and I don't think anything spiritual is prescriptive. I feel like you have your path that you're on, that you and your higher power, whether you're Christian or Buddhist or Wiccan or atheist, pagan, whatever you are, right? You have your path and your rituals and your approach, and it's authored by you. You don't need somebody to say, well, BRG, you didn't offer up something to your great-grandfather on your biological father's side. That just furthers the nonsense. I don't see, and I don't think that's what she's saying, but I don't know. I'm reluctant for experts in this area, spiritual stuff. It is you and your path and your light and love and your soul on that path doing rituals and spell work or meditations or prayers that are meaningful for you on your path. I don't think somebody else can come in and say, well, this is what you should be doing. That sounds like church. People can give you suggestions, but I feel like, I think people get hung up because they're doing it the wrong way, and that prevents them from moving forward. And we don't want to prevent people from moving toward light and love. We want to encourage them on their path. And as long as the things that they do don't hurt other people or hurt animals or living things, I think, we should support one another and stop putting up barriers where they don't need to exist. So those are my 2 cents. And on that note, I have a beautiful bookmark now that I can use to put in my book. So I'm very excited about that. I read in the tub, so I'm going to take the bath salts with me to the tub, and I'll let you know what I think about the book. All right, I am wishing you all the very best in light and love. Be well. Take care. Bye-bye.